Good afternoon. This is your strategic recovery brief for the winter storm of 2016. As we've seen over the course of the past few weeks, the greater Burlington area has received a large amount of damage from the winter storm. Our local road network was unusable for a significant portion of the storm, which greatly limited our ability to provide emergency services. Virtually all of the area experienced power loss for a significant period of time, which left hundreds of thousands of residents in dangerously cold temperatures, and frozen water pipes and ice accumulation damaged the structure and integrity of homes throughout the area. Our local communications networks were inoperable, exacerbating the danger towards local residents because they could not call for help. Finally, farmers and businesses throughout the area experienced large financial losses as businesses were closed, large amounts of livestock were killed off, and many maple sugar producing trees and other crops were destroyed. The effects of this storm will reverberate through our community and our economy for months and maybe even years to come. There are, however, some measures the local government people can take to help limit the effects of this storm on our community. As we recover and redevelop from this storm, we cannot think of our economy and infrastructure separately. As the storm showed, our critical infrastructure is vital to the local economy for functioning. Thus, both should be recovered and redeveloped with the same thinking in mind. First, our focus will be on the restoration of local businesses and infrastructure to normal operating conditions. Though the losses to our economy will not be recovered quickly, the sooner we can open Burlington for business, the sooner the recovery can begin. We will focus our infrastructure recovery measures in economic centers in an effort to get local businesses to open their doors and bring customers back into the marketplace. Our power and transportation networks are vital to this endeavor, as they are the lifeblood of economic movement. Once local businesses are reopened, we will focus on reopening Burlington for tourism. In the winter months, tourism is vital to the local economy. To breathe life back into the tourist season, we will partner with the local Chamber of Commerce and the state of Vermont to introduce new tourism-focused advertising campaigns. And in the long term, the city will focus on winterizing our local infrastructure to protect it from future extreme cold weather. This means investing in power infrastructure that can withstand heavier ice loads and increasing our inventory of snow fighting and road clearing equipment and supplies, and making our communications networks more resilient to power failures. Housing recovery and redevelopment will be a large undertaking as thousands of residents were forced to flee their homes due to life-threatening conditions. Though a large portion of these residents will be able to return to their homes as soon as power is restored, some will not be able to because their homes sustained significant damage or were destroyed. Our short-term focus will be to move residents out of emergency shelters and back into their homes or into temporary homes. A major facilitating function of this effort will be restoring power to residential areas. Many homes will also need minor repairs to make them habitable again. The city will seek the help of volunteer organizations to help residents with many of these minor repairs. Residents who need greater effort to make their homes habitable will move to temporary housing locations in local apartments, condominiums, or hotels until their homes can be made habitable or new permanent dwellings can be established. In order to facilitate the repair and reconstruction of homes, our midterm focus will be on expediting permits for home construction and repair. The Burlington Community and Economic Development Office will assist residents in securing low or no interest loans to help pay for repairs and reconstruction not covered by insurance. Our long-term focus will be in extending home buying programs to residents whose homes were destroyed by the storm. Many programs already exist to move low-income families into homes in newly developed or developing areas of Burlington. These programs will be made available to victims of the storm to help them move into permanent dwellings while developing Burlington's residential communities in the process. Furthermore, the city will work to expedite permits and create tax exemptions for those looking to construct new homes as a result of the storm. Burlington's agriculture is a vital aspect of the local economy and requires different measures for recovery than other businesses or industries. Initially, the city will work with the State of Vermont Agency for Agricultural and Food Markets to appropriately remove and deal with destroyed livestock from the local area. Some collection points have already been established, but more services will likely be needed as the full damage of the storm is realized. Additionally, the city will work with local farmers to find companies and volunteer organizations to help with the removal of destroyed trees and debris from maple sugar farms. Our midterm focus will shift to reestablishing farmers' production capability. The VAAFM, Vermont Farm Bureau, and industrial cooperations will be enlisted to help local farmers secure no or low interest loans to help replenish livestock and crops. Additionally, the City of Burlington will work to establish a volunteer organization to help local farmers clean up and restore their farms and crops. The long-term focus of our local agriculture will be an economic rebound. Though crops and livestock can be replaced, the long-term economic effects of the initial loss of these crops will be significant. The city will work to develop tax and financial incentives to help farmers deal with the loss of crops and livestock and remain in business in the local area. Furthermore, farmers will be given tax incentives to build protective structures for livestock in the event of future severe weather. Though our local government responded well to the storm, there is room for improvement. For future winter disasters, our resources were quickly expended and we were not prepared for the large power and communications losses. First, we must focus on restoring our emergency supplies in the event of another severe winter weather event this season. This will mean maintaining our equipment and resupplying our inventories. We must also work to approve additional overtime for emergency responders who may be called upon to act in another emergency situation in short order. Our midterm focus will be on increasing the baseline of our emergency equipment and supplies. Much of our focus should be on the Public Works Department's snow fighting equipment, such as plows and salt stockpiles. We must also make our 911 call centers more resilient to power and communications loss. These facilities should be made self-sufficient in the event of wider power and communications losses. Finally, we must exercise and rehearse disaster scenarios more often. Our city government and first responders must practice operating in communications, power, and transportation-degraded environments like the ones this storm created. This is essential for preparing the city for future severe weather, which will undoubtedly impact us again. Thank you.